This is Father Dominic Holtz coming to you from Rome, Italy, with a word of hope for the 25th of January, the feast of the conversion of St. Paul. Conversion. Is it something that we do, or is it something that's done to us? Do we turn ourselves, or are we turned? Now, there's a good argument for both sides. After all, conversion is deeply personal. Many people can be shown the same truths, and some accept the faith and others do not. So conversion sounds like, in important ways, it's up to us. Will we receive the faith that is proposed to us? But in another way, conversion looks a lot like it's something that's done to us. In a human way, of course, we don't just come up with the Christian faith ourselves. The Christian faith is something that we've received, something that's modeled for us, both by living Christians around us and by the saints of old. The scriptures aren't our own writings, it's something that we receive. And more importantly, we receive something spiritually. We hold with the Church that faith is a gift, that it comes as a grace from God. So in the end, no one comes to faith unless, as Jesus tells us, the Father draws him. So faith, conversion, seems to be at one and the same time both deeply personal and something that I do, and something that's done to me. We see this in the story of the conversion of St. Paul. St. Paul, after all, is given a special miraculous vision that's a vision for him alone. While the people who accompany him do see a great light, they don't hear the voice that he hears. The conversation between Jesus and the risen Lord is deeply personal, in fact, in its own way, deeply private. And Paul must in the end decide, will he accept the offer that Jesus has given him, the simultaneous offer of forgiveness and mission, or will he turn aside and remain on his path of persecuting the way, the Christian faith? Yet the same story also tells us that there are other people involved here. When Paul is struck blind, the people accompanying him, the people who were in fact accompanying him to oppose the faith, had to bring him to his destination. And when he gets there, the Christian people must receive him. They themselves are given a message from God, a message that tells them that this Paul, who was their persecutor, is to be received by them, and that they are to instruct him in the faith. So Paul's conversion doesn't rely only upon himself or his private conversation with Jesus, but the work of other Christians who recognize this work of Jesus in people who do not yet have the faith, and in their generous cooperation with that work of God in others. And finally, what confirms Paul's conversion is the fact that the Christian community will hear his preaching. They marvel, they wonder, this is the man, is it not, who opposed us, who put our brothers and sisters in prison and perhaps even led them to death. It's this same Paul, but here he is, preaching the good news of Christ risen from the dead. They had to choose to accept the conversion of Paul, and Paul, in seeing them, could be confirmed in the truth that he had received in that private revelation from Jesus. So, brothers and sisters, our conversion is never just about ourselves. It's never just a private affair. We owe it to the people in our lives to teach them about the Christian faith, to lead them as they grow in knowledge of Jesus and his wonderful works that he has done for us. At the same time, it always remains and must be deeply personal. We can't leave the faith up to other people, leave it to priests or bishops or religious or teachers of theology. We must own the faith that we have been given. We must accept Jesus Christ, who has come to us and offered us his life. And that, my brothers and sisters, is a word of hope.